crew of Wanderers fans have made the short journey down from Sydney to support their team. And as Michael Zappone mentioned, throwing to us, they can go second with a victory, given MacArthur and Brisbane not winning yesterday. As for Wellington, they're happy. They're not on the bottom of the ladder after that one in Melbourne. Melbourne victory still hold that spot, so the Knicks at least won't be bottom at the end of this round unless they cop a severe beating in the next 90 minutes. That's the ladder as it stands. The Mariners still top despite their loss to Adelaide on Friday night. Western Sydney on 12 points, can be 15 if it all goes well in this particular game. The Knicks can jump a spot over Melbourne City. Play in a couple of days' time. Let's get to the teams then, and Ufuk Talay has made 5 changes, some forced, others due to form, due to the side that started 7 days ago in a loss against the Central Coast Mariners. Oliver Sale will start his first A-League game in nearly 2 years. All-white Stefan Marinovic back to the bench for the first time since he joined the club. At the back, with Luke De Vere gone for 2 months, Tim Payne will move from right back to centre back, we're told, where he'll partner Liam McGing. Josh Laws is fit enough to sit on the bench. Mirza Muradovic starts on the right in what looks to be an altered formation for the Knicks. We'll find out soon enough. But leading the line will be Ben Waine, the 19-year-old product of the Phoenix Academy, gets his first start of the campaign with David Ball suspended. And despite 11 days rest since Wanderers' win over Victory, Carl Robinson has elected to shuffle his ever-expanding squad. Dylan McGowan comes back from injury, with Daniel Wilmering, the former ball boy, brought in on the left flank for his first start since his ACL injury. Jordan O'Doherty partners Keanu Bacchus for the suspended Graham Dorrans. Up top is where it's a complete change. Abini, Muller and Kwame Yeboah, his first start of the season, preferred to Simon Cox and Bruce Kamau, who make the bench. Troisi is rested. And speaking of the bench, new recruits Jordan Much and the returning Mitch Duke, who got out of quarantine on Friday, perhaps to play some part for Carl Robinson's side. And Tate Russell knows this ground really, really well. He played for the South Coast Wolves, Wollongong Wolves, as a youth product under 16s and 18s. Still lives in Wollongong before he made the move as a player to Western Sydney Wanderers. However, he still resides in these parts and has family and friends watching this evening. And head-to-head, just opposite him on the other side of halfway, is Reno Piscopo, who provided a fair bit of impact in his first start of the season last week against Mariners. See what the Olyroos can come up with tonight. He's a vital player in Ufuk Talay's plans. So set for the final game in what's been another dramatic, entertaining, whatever way you want to look at it, round in the A-League. Wanderers to kick off in the away kit. Adam Peacock alongside Robbie Slater. It's another good one in store, Rob. Yeah,
it certainly is a very important game for Wellington, and a tough one because Wanderers, as you mentioned, in quite good form. Haven't, unbeaten in 6. And sitting nicely on the table. Haven't played as many games as those around them either. Wellington, when you look at that bottom of the table and you see Victory sitting second bottom and Wellington just above them, it's not something you would have probably thought at the start of this season.
Both bouncing on a turnover from the Wanderers. A lot of space for Davila. This is Davila. I can say that the Mexican fan club is back again. The Northern Stand. Get a few shots of them as the game goes on. There's Rufer and Knicks elect to go back. There they are. We're at Cogra for the game against Sydney FC a couple of weeks ago. Great to have them providing a bit of atmosphere.
Yeah, and it's brilliant for the player himself. He did get a goal. It was a big deflection against Sydney. It was laid on, but it certainly made that group of supporters very happy. And Davila, as always, the main threat to the Wanderers, coming here and conquering all 3 points.
Ziggy Gordon to O'Doherty, to the impressive 18-year-old Matt Natter. And Wilmering. Yeboah off on a run. He's got Payne. He does start at centre-back Tim Payne, and it's a centre-back's challenge early on. Looked shoulder to shoulder, Robbie, but he's given away the foul.
Oh, I thought it was a little bit over-aggressive. I think the referee got it right. Payne coming across. He's a long way from the ball and takes him out. It's not shoulder to shoulder. He's actually got him in the chest.
Good point.
But interesting one, Payne, he's been, he's a very, very important player when he plays on that right-hand side, but he is crucial in the middle of the park, in the centre of defence for Wellington now, and they've got something to defend very early on here.
Natter and a beanie in the 6-yard box. Apart from that, a few Wanderers are going to make a run at Nikolai Muller's effort here.
Yep, the beanies. Gordon's already scored from a set piece this season.
And it comes. It's a delivery. It looks to skid off the head of Tim Payne. It does, so out for a corner.
Yeah, wicked ball in from Muller, who'll go from one side of the pitch all the way to the other to take this next corner. See it, Ziggy Gordon checking, going centre of the goal, and Payne aware, and it's good defending.
Interesting play here from the Wellington Phoenix off the ball. Davila and Muratovic have just sprinted to halfway. Anyway, the corner comes in. It's a short one, worked with O'Doherty from Muller. Ball back in, and Ollie Sale, an early touch for him, is a fist through the ball, and it clears it as far as McGowan. To Russell. Go all the way back to Daniel Margouche.
Yeah, you think of those front players for the Western Sydney Wanderers, and they should be full of energy, full of running, because they know what's sitting on the bench. There's plenty of options. Mitchell Duke, of course, speaking to John Satsimas before the game, and Paul Lederer, and they're delighted to have him back on the books. He's very good in the dressing room, a real lift for the whole group. And of course, top goal scorer last season.
Look at get past the challenge of Rufer, but Rufer can't get the ball past Jordan O'Doherty, who recovered well. Russell has a bit of space to operate in down this right. Muller. For Russell again, Bacchus. Invites Russell to make that run down the challenge, which Julie does, and wins another corner. Trying to bring in Mark Bosnich here on the sideline. We'll do it after this corner, I promise, Bozza. He's pensively waiting down there, but we'll stick with the action. So Muller and O'Doherty, just that last corner, so two. All of a sudden, they're going to do it again here. Muratovic and Davila, they're going to drag two Wanderers away and go up to halfway. It's an interesting tactic. Muller with the corner straight in. Gordon really attacking it, flying through there. Like Flash Gordon. Beanie just has to run at it. O'Doherty has a shot. That one's blocked. Gordon reckons he's offside, so he leaves it for Muller. Gordon and Muller working something down this right side. In the end, it's out for a goal kick. It won't make it for a throw-in. Now we can go to Bozza. Good afternoon, Boz.
Well, good afternoon or good evening to you, Adam, and to Robbie and to all our viewers watching. A good start here from Western Sydney Wanderers. Like you mentioned before the start of the game, practically two new teams. Wellington finished with 5 changes and Western Sydney Wanderers with 6 changes. And it's a nice day here, 26 degrees Celsius. There's about 75% humidity, and there's only a slight wind coming in. So really good conditions. And the most interesting change, I think, out of the both sides is the goalkeeping one, with Ollie Sale coming in from Marinovic. And I can understand these early set plays, the Wanderers wanting to test him. There's no doubt about that. It looks as though Muratovic as well has gone up front with Benjamin Wayne. And it's Davila and Clayton Lewis who are playing behind him as the dual number 10s. But everything to play for here today. Wanderers can go second place with a game in hand on the Central Coast, or in first. And of course, Wellington can get themselves off the bottom of the table.
It's a full-on press from the Knicks to win back the ball right in front of Bozza there. Escapo one-on-one with Russell. Sent this way and that. A great ball in from Escapo, and it's blocked away without any real conviction. It did the job for the Wanderers.
And they'll get their first corner, Wellington. Good play from Piscopo. You mentioned Davila, and I said that he's crucial, but this guy is as well. He's back now. He's got a couple of games under his belt, one off the bench. Good skill there. And a dangerous ball. Sliding that just beyond the 6-yard box.
Piscopo will take the corner. It's gone all the way. Margouche tries to guide it. Muratovic, it fell to him. And away to safety for Wanderers. Wanderers haven't conceded from open play yet this season. They've conceded 2 from a corner, 2 from a penalty, 2 from penalties, 2 from free kicks. They haven't been cut apart, even though you could argue that penalties giving them away, but set 3 pieces defensively. Perhaps an opportunity for Wellington. That's surely a handball from Tate Russell on the ground, and is.
And Adam, just to correct myself, as Piscopo is playing as the second number 10, Clayton Lewis is going to be partnering Alex Rufer in the centre of midfield to give him that energy that they so dearly missed last week against the Central Coast Mariners.
Yeah, Matthew Rydenton on the bench, and Cameron Devlin as well. So he's got options in that particular area of the park, Vitale, to inject a bit of enthusiasm in the second half, perhaps. Time last week it was the stable partnering of Laws and De Vere at the back, as De Villa can face forward. Maradovic, good save from Margush, but it falls again to Maradovic, and he's got his second goal at that end at Wynn Stadium, and it's a massive one for Wellington Phoenix.
Well, he gets 2 bites at it. Doesn't make a mistake with the second one. He got a little bit lucky. It's a good move from Wellington, their first rule, apart from the Piscopo cross, and it comes through the middle. Davila, perfect pass, scuffs the first one. A bit unlucky, the goalkeeper there, but it comes back to Maradovic, and he pokes it into an empty net. It's a great start for Wellington. Davila, when you let him turn in between the lines like that, he can hurt you, and he certainly did there.
Intelligent off-the-ball run from an intelligent young player, who's a Maradovic, who made the move to Wellington this season after starting his A-League career with Brisbane, came through the AIS and talented youth programs from just west of Sydney, Oberon, but it's a well-taken goal in the end. He reacted well to what was a pretty good piece of goalkeeping from Daniel Margush, Bozza.
He was very unfortunate, Margush, but that was all about the play, you have to say, by De Vere. Straight down the middle, the first question you ask yourself when you're watching here, and I'm sure Carl Robinson and Kenny Miller and his staff are asking, as to why does that happen? Well, why that happens is because De Vere comes in from the side, a little bit not too dissimilar to what Milos Ninkovic does, and they get caught thinking about who was supposed to pick him up. Rather than thinking about who's to pick him up, the closest person should go and pick him up. But a really good finish in the end, you have to say, by Maradovic, who's the name on the team sheet that you think, here it is here. Watch De Vere come in the centre, and there's 3 players around him. No one really knows. Ziggy Gordon ends up coming out, leaves that space for Maradovic. Margush with the save, but he puts a rebound in. Like I said, every time I see his name on the team sheet, I always feel excited, and I feel as though that any team he's playing for, Maradovic, have got a better chance of winning.
Just his second start of the season. He saw that ball when it was going into De Villa, Robbie. Maradovic was off and running and knew what he could get on the end of from the Mexican. Here's Nikolai Muller going the other way to Wilmering. Good ball that Tim Payne had to in the neck and get away.
No, but playing 3 central defenders, you know, to go right through the middle like that, that's where Carl Robinson will be wondering how that can happen. Maradovic got on the outside of the right centre half, and Tate Russell couldn't get back to cover in time.
It's the end of that open play conceding stat as well for this season. McGarry. Misguided ball to Piscopo and out to Wilmering. They had to run a long way. Yeboah. Muller. Looking for one of the forward runs of Yeboah or Rabini and finding neither. De Villa, Ben Wayne just trying to get into the game at the moment.
Well, those 2 fullbacks, Russell on this right-hand side and Wilmering, as we've seen already, they should get a lot of space with the 2 10s when they win the ball. You know, when they're tucked inside, the outlet is out in that wide area.
McGowan, his header falls to Villa, and that was a dangerous opportunity because Wanderers running forward. Wellington go back the other way. They've got 3 players running forward. It's stuck in the middle here. It falls to Piscopo. Oh, lovely feed. Dances around one opponent. Can't get past Keanu Bacchus. Really well-timed challenge.
It was a great tackle, but I just thought in that first instance, I think Benjamin Wayne was away if he'd played him in.
Tempo to this one. Bacchus out to Russell. Alex Rufer read that one. Davila spins and goes forward. Real intent from both sides to go forward at every opportunity in this game. Rufer, his first touch is positive. Dicking a ball to where he thought Muradovic would be, but he was a little narrow. Wonder the effect of not having Graham Dorrans on that goal in particular, Robbie, the organisation that he and Bacchus have come up with in the middle of the park, perhaps a factor in that right through the middle move from the Knicks.
Yeah, but I think if you see, and of course, you miss a quality player like that, but you know, that's where the squad, and we're seeing that this season, the squad is very important with so many games, short terms around. It's not really the case for this one, but good players on the bench.
It is a big squad that Carl Robinson is forming at Western Sydney Wanderers in terms of experience already accrued, so he's going to leave out some disappointed players each week. He's quite happy to have that problem. Wilmering, that ball to no one in particular, but McGarry made it a tad difficult for a split second. Back in the starting lineup. Full atmosphere, north side of the ground tonight. That one perhaps meant for Wilmering, but Kabini chopped it out. Back to Bacchus. Muller. All 10 outfield players for the Knicks behind the ball. So it goes wide to Wilmering. It's a deep setup from the Knicks without it. Gordon. The most patient part of the game so far from either side comes from the Wanderers, so Muller can play forward now and notices there's a bit of space out there for Daniel Wilmering. Covering is Fenton, so he goes back to Natta. Muller. Ball to feet for Abini, bouncing around, out to Wilmering again, back to Abini, he can turn, can he find a way through? Not quite, no penalty there, looked to fall over his own steam, but Piscopo can come away here. He does well, Bacchus can't win it off him, he's got Russell for company, but he's got too much pace, Piscopo, for Tate Russell, who gives away the foul, gets a yellow card.
Yeah, maybe a bit harsh for the yellow card, but he was tracking him. Had 2 goes at him, Tate Russell. Let him go the first time. Terrific run. This was unlucky from Abini, nearly getting through there and just coming out with the ball. It was McGing, and that was the chase. Tate Russell on Piscopo. Piscopo's so positive. He looks in good touch in this opening period.
Carl Robinson and Vitale arguing whether or not it was. Lewis just had a crack. Margush, I think he was really set up for someone having a go from that distance, but Clayton Lewis asked the question. A good press here from the Knicks and winning it back. Wayne finds Piscopo, who hits it. Oh, my goodness, what a shot from Reno Piscopo. It's not done with yet for the Knicks. Davila hits the ref. That'll be a Wanderers ball. Because it last came off a Wanderer, even though Keanu Bacchus wasn't really aiming for anyone in particular, just looking to get it away.
What an action. This is the first one. This is the free kick, and it bends away. Margush didn't look too bothered. Superb technique. Control that, because that's hard to control. His first touch didn't really kill the ball, and it's on the half volley, and he's so unlucky not to get Wellington second.
Down to Mark Bosnich. This start from Reno Piscopo is something.
He looks absolutely on fire. He's causing them all sorts of problems. Once again, playing in that half space, as we call it, which is basically, like I said, in between. If you draw a line right through the middle of the goal along the pitch, but in between that line and the touch line, that's where he is, and it's causing all sorts of problems. They don't really know who the one is to pick up. They've been a little bit scarred psychologically by the goal when Ziggy Gordon come out of that 3, and they're causing them all sorts of trouble. And Piscopo's at the centre of it. Wanderers looking a little bit sluggish, haven't played for quite some time.
Good idea from Davila. Easy ball was defeat, but he's looked for the more dangerous ball inside the fullback for Fenton. Again, that started with Piscopo in between the lines, able to turn and face forward. So it is Piscopo and Davila that are causing the problems.
Ball back again, Wellington. This time they'll take their time. Liam McGing came through Sydney United, one of your old clubs, Robbie. And Sydney FC before Vitale brought him to Wellington Phoenix last season. Patient build up this time from the Knicks. Villa trying to look for Wayne in the channel, but Mark Natter reads that one, asks for the foul, doesn't get it.
It's a terrific mop.
It's fantastic.
And he read that so well. He's so calm for such a young player.
Jimmy inside, Jimmy!
That's a lot to be envious about. They're winning a throw. Yeah, that's what stands out about Mark Natter for an 18-year-old. This guy's given him a chance and has really taken it. He has to clear that one away, so back will come again, starting things for the Knicks again. Payne. Familiar surrounds of centre-back for Tim Payne. We've only really seen him in the A-League at right-back. Crew from the Wanderers here at Wynn Stadium, Wollongong. If you don't know the geography, it's about an hour south of Sydney. Rufer. Piscopo's caused majority of the problems so far. Asking for a handball and getting the decision from Rosa Fagani. Rufer starts quickly. Davila gets it back off Wayne. Davila, one way, the other, feint the shot. Piscopo looking for that right side of the goal. It's not away yet for Wanderers. Muller's there. And Maradovic has a shot.
Oh, terrific attacking play. Rufus stays down after that challenge. I think just came a little bit late on him. Maradovic at the end of that action with a volley couldn't control it, but wonderful play from Davila on that right-hand side, inside channel. Good combination. Here he goes with Benjamin Wayne. A nice touch from him as well. Back to goal, lays it back, and then it's all about quick feet, trying to engineer that half a yard. Piscopo, that's an important block. That's going bottom corner.
Lovely touch from Yeboah to link up with Abini, and he can go open side here through Muller. Wanderers charging forward. There's 4 of them there. Muller tries to go it alone. Has a go this time, and Ollie Sale, who can basically touch the crossbar without having to jump, just sees it over. Just me, Robbie, or Wanderers asking for trouble if they're allowing Davila and Piscopo to drop a little deeper and have time on the ball?
No, once they get in between those lines, someone's got to be there. Because once you allow them to turn and run at you, we've seen the result. It could be 2 up.
Wilmering. drop off. Wanderers get the ball back in this part of the pitch, Wellington. There would be about 12 metres from front line to back line at the moment for man in yellow. O'Doherty. Gordon for Russell, first time cross. He's met by McGarry and out for a corner. Activity on the Wellington Phoenix bench and defensive corners, pointing, gesticulating. Muller's ball is a good one. Could fall, doesn't, because Wellington get it away. Back it comes. Yeboah can turn and shoot if he wants, and Sale smothers the ball down low to his right. There's the javelin throw. Get over Daniel Wilmering. Fenton goes back to Ollie Sale. Puts it halfway to the Stars, and Davila brings it down brilliantly and wins a free kick. Plenty of noise at Wynn Stadium. Vocal crew in. Vibrant start from Wellington Phoenix. They have the lead inside 25 minutes. Goal from Maratovic, the difference between the two sides so far. Boz, you were down there 7 days ago for Wellington Phoenix, where it looked like one thing led to another in terms of it getting worse. Do they look ever so more confident after this start that they've had?
100%, Adam, no doubt about that. Obviously, last week was it was very difficult to tell because they were up against it after the sending off. But they're playing, not only playing really well, but very smartly as well. Just let that one go through. One thing I want you to pick up on: when the ball comes out to this side, the near side, right towards me, so right towards on the left-hand side of Wellington, either Wilmering or Maratovic come all the way out to the sideline. And then Piscopo stays in his little half-half position. And if the ball goes out to the left back, to James McGarry, as soon as Tate Russell goes, then Ziggy Gordon has to come out to pick up one of those strikers. And that leaves a gap for the likes of Piscopo to run in. Very, very, not too dissimilar to how the goal was scored. And it's causing Wanderers untold problems.
Cheers, boss. Abini. And out to Russell. This is promising for Wanderers, but no, it's Tim Payne again, who's been heavily involved in his first start at centre-back for the Knicks. Russell keeps it in. Yeboah, second to it, McGing reacted the quickest, and it's a free kick. He wins the free kick. Ollie Sale's come all the way over to take this one in front of the Wanderers fans. Again, smart play, finds McGarry. Rufer pleading for McGarry to find him with the ball so they can go this open side through Payne. Davila, his movement is causing Wanderers a few issues. Oh, what a move that is on Mark Natter. Davila still going with that left foot. And it dribbles into the waiting palms of Daniel Margush.
Terrific skill. One-on-one, so capable, and because he's going backwards almost. See, that uses his body well. Chop comes inside Natter. Natter does well to just drive him backwards, and then too hard to get any power on that. Ziggy Gordon took up an interesting position there. Far post, clever. That's going for.
Ziggy Gordon made the off-season move to Central Coast Mariners late in the piece. It surprised a few, but Carl Robinson knew exactly what he needed in this area of the pitch. Some of the former academical player, the great names in world football. Former home of Ian Fife and David Carney in Scotland. Beanie's got 2, maybe 3 Knicks players for company. One of them, James McGarry, is out with a nick in the boot. Radovic was asked to go on that last line, but he got tangled up with Gordon, and Wanderers can start again. It's lacking at the moment for Wanderers, Robbie.
Penetration. They're getting at times into good areas, but the final ball hasn't been great. They're finding it very difficult to get in behind Wellington because they're so compact. You know, once they finish their attack, they drop off to the halfway line. Nice and compact, and Wanderers not really good enough at the moment. The stress at the moment to break them down, but Wellington have been terrific in this opening, coming up to half an hour.
Outstanding abilities, Davila, so far. Arguably his best half an hour of football this season. Just when Wellington Phoenix needed it most. Get away from the bottom of the table. His chest down is a little too hefty, and Bacchus is able to shift it quickly to Wilmering. Muller for company out there. The German cuts inside. Looking for Russell on the other side. McGarry read it. Tries to head away. Falls to a Beanie. Rufer comes over to help out. Keeps going on to Russell, but gives away a corner. Another one for the Wanderers.
That was much better from the Wanderers. Just asked that question to Robbie about what they need to do. Another thing they need to do is to shift that ball much quickly. Wellington Phoenix, just like Robbie Slater just said, are so compact. They're not getting moved enough and shifted around enough. They stay like this, they won't concede a goal for like 3 days. So they need to be moved around, and you can do that by shifting the ball quickly.
Buller's corner's a good one again. It's pinging around in there. Back out to O'Doherty. Crosses this time over everyone. Tim Payne again with the header. Gordon nods down to Yeboah, who could perhaps turn in a tight area. Mark Natter thinks about the shot, draws it into the box to McGowan. All the defenders are still up there, and they can break here, Wellington. They've got numbers. Oh, that was a really important challenge from Mark Natter.
Yeah, but he shouldn't have given him the opportunity.
Muller fires it in at Yeboah. Too hot for him.
Radovic with the chance to launch a counter there. They had 3-on-3. Natter did so well coming around the back of him, but he should have released that ball earlier.
Bacchus, you'll have a go. A regretful one, it turns out.
And that's what, and it's very early, but that's what can happen. You start seeing players when they get frustrated at trying to break down a compact defence. They start taking shots from, way out like that was from Bacchus. And okay, we see them sometimes fly in the top corner, but that often and rarely from that kind of distance. Wanderers certainly need more out of Muller to find some more space, maybe try and drag some of those defensive plays in a wide area. And Abini and Yeboah up front start the more genuine service.
Russell, positive run. Abini this time with the cross. Yes, another corner.
Yeah, set piece. And Wellington have conceded quite a few, haven't they, from set pieces, and they look dangerous. Wanderers will have another opportunity here. No commanding Luke De Vere, of course.
Schlors, the other central defender on the bench tonight after an ankle problem. Muller stayed on side for the return ball from O'Doherty. It goes to the back stick this time, more or less hits Ziggy Gordon in the face. Yeah, a lot of injury worries, suspension for Wellington Phoenix, but they've put that to one side so far in this game. Impressive start for the Knicks. Fenton. Give it go with the Villa, but Natta scampers across. Villa not on the same page as Louis Fenton. Backus with a lot of space in the middle of the park here. Vitale straight out of his seat, really annoyed. He was afforded that space. Finds Russell. Muller has got 2 for company. And for a change, it's a corner. Muller's corner. He's met at the near post. Falls to Piscopo, and Rufer just gets it away. Everyone in the box there for Wellington. They've done away with that 2 sprinting up just before the corner to halfway to drag a few wanderers out of that area. Doherty, Muller, touch. Rufer, Piscopo. Off to a start as bright as his boots, Reno Piscopo, and he wins a foul here. It's a frustration growing about the Wanderers in this one. They perhaps need half-time just to calm down and reset, Robbie.
Well, they've got some work to do before half-time, and there's Ziggy Gordon there just, you know, he doesn't like to let players turn on him, but you know, that let the pressure off Wellington. Haven't been as dangerous in the last 5 or 6 minutes. They've got a lot of set pieces, corners away.
Sail out to the Villa, who tried the party trick to get it past Mark Natta.
You see, this suits Wellington. It's just a little bit slow, one touch and the ball movement not quick enough.
From side to side, trying to open up the middle, but it's not opening up at the moment. Doherty's there, then it goes out wide to Russell. Doherty in a nice little pocket. Can't find anyone. Again, they give away a foul when they're trying to win the ball back high up.
Yeah, and they don't have comfortable possession there, so it's again just relieves Wellington.
Beautiful Sunday night in the Gong. Western Sydney Wanderers aiming to go second on the A-League ladder. A couple of games midweek as well. It's a short turnaround for Wellington Phoenix. They'll go down to Melbourne to take on Melbourne Victory. Backus. Big little shimmy to get rid of the Villa and bring in Wilmering, who can go forward. Good atmosphere at either end here. We've got the Mexican band down one end, and we've got the Wanderers fans in another corner. Here's a beanie. Can't get past Piscopo. They've got the energy to break quickly here, Wellington. They elect not to. Fenton. Clayton Lewis, who's playing in a deeper role tonight alongside Alex Rufer. To McGarry. There's space here for Piscopo to turn into. His touch was a little off for once. Muller. Ziggy Gordon. They want to drive forward, but is it into a dead end? He goes out to Russell. His cross is a good one. Goes right across the 6-yard box. Fenton probably didn't need to play at it, but no, Muller, Abini was not there, and Yeboah was well off that last line.
And that's the quality of cross you need. Superb cross, one touch. Look at that wicked ball, and not enough players in there attacking that ball. Can't ask more. Take Russell there. That's a wicked ball to defend.
Muller's corner. Sale comes out, bashes it away with his fists, and Davila can break here. He's got one-on-one with Daniel Wilmering. He's not diving in just yet. Why would you? Davila sees Piscopo out on the right-hand side. It's another loose touch. His shot is blocked by the advancing Margush.
That's a good save, but it's a big chance. Piscopo's first touch took him sideways. Quick transition, sorry. Not a transaction.
Was that too?
Davila, brilliant. Great skill there. And look at that first touch, takes him sideways. Margush does well and comes and smothers that danger. Another big chance to Wellington. And the two players who've had the biggest influence on this game, apart from this goal scorer himself, Muradovic, is Piscopo and Davila combining.
Clayton Lewis has gone over to take what will be an in-swinging corner, aiming to zip this in. A lot of Nick's bodies in the 6-yard box. Bit of air underneath it. Rufer tries to attack it. Margush is blocked and does get a free kick. Bozza, this counter-attacking ability of Wellington Phoenix all of a sudden. And I say all of a sudden because they've played in different ways this season, but it's can be a real threat if they get it right.
Well, they've obviously got a game plan, not too dissimilar to what Western United did yesterday to MacArthur. And I was just about to say, I think the last 10 minutes or so, I think Western Sydney Wanderers have really clawed themselves back into the game. They've sorted out that midfield problem pretty much, and they're just trying to get back in the game. But where they've got to be very, very careful, and you just saw it there, and Robbie's right, that was a better chance than I think everybody realised, even the Wellington crowd, because when he passes that ball to Villa, I'm thinking this is going to be a goal. Wonderful save again by Margush, but who was to know if there was a better touch by Piscopo, we might be looking at it being 2-0. So this is where the Wanderers have got to maintain their concentration.
Russell's ball is met by Payne. A little nick on it from Clayton Lewis. Vitale is asking for a free kick because he's saying that Muradovic was held back by Ziggy Gordon in transition there. Not spotted by anyone. So it's a bit of a danger pushing up the mics on a coach who's frustrated, but thankfully we got away with a PG rating there. Bacchus to Wilmering. It's a positive first touch to set up the cross. He's given away a corner there. It's unlucky because the Villa's ball went straight into Wilmering and straight back at the Mexican, and it dribbles out for a corner.
Yeah, the double ricochet. Muller, particularly from this side, of a real quality.
Muller, short corner this time. O'Doherty's the one to whip it in. Doesn't really get off the ground. And Fenton is the one to get it away. Davila is fouled, is he? Yes. On reflection, should it have been perhaps an advantage? Not so. Rosa Fagani reminding Ulysses Davila that he's the only man on the pitch with a whistle. The card, yeah, I thought it was going to come, the motion for the card. Ali Razor's not a big fan of that when players do it. Then Wayne asked to chase that one. He's got Natta for company, two teenagers head-to-head there on the right-hand side. Wayne wins that little battle. I suppose herring after it, looked to use some arms on Russell, but the way Russell goes, keeps his balance and goes forward, promising looking movement here for Wanderers. That's a lovely ball, the outside of the boot. Yeboah can meet it. And in the end, it was a dink, it was a cross, it was a shot, I'm not sure, but it's a goal kick. That's what it eventuates in.
Great run from Russell, winning that battle right down in his own half with Piscopo, and the perfect ball, and he just doesn't get the execution right. Yeboah going to dig this one, and probably the low and hard one across the face was the better option. You've seen that Wanderers player at the back post.
Now, Robbie, I just wanted to say, but you mentioned about not getting in behind, and you saw in the last 5 minutes twice Western Sydney Wanderers actually getting in behind and how dangerous it is. And that should be a marker for them in the second half, because they've got two really quick players up front. They should be looking to get in behind, especially into those pockets of those little balls, because it's devastating.
Piscopo stayed down for a little bit there. He copped an accidental hand from Keanu Bacchus in the face. Russell, another cross. One deflected, so it's an awkward one for Sale, who handles it well.
He's been pretty good, hasn't he, Sale, in this first half?
Doesn't mind the big punch either when he comes out.
But one thing he's got with his punches is distance, and that's what you want.
It's a 70-metre one off the boot as well. Miller trying to twist and turn past Bacchus, who just held his ground. Plays forward to Yeboah. Wilmering, Beanie on that left-hand side. Wilmering herring after him to get around. Receives his cross. There's no Wanderers in the box, but it falls to Muller dangerously. Yeboah! Good save from Sale.
Super save. And a really good strike as well from Yeboah. It was on for Muller, but his first touch let him down, so he got the pass away to Yeboah, and it was a sharp first touch from him there. See, can't take it. That's a sharp touch. A lot of power behind that. It's a good save. So Wanderers finishing off the half very, very strong.
Just a minute left and a little bit extra. Muller. His corner. His body's going everywhere. Yeboah's hit the deck. Another Wellington player's hit the deck as well. Liam McGing, he stayed down. Could have been a head clash there, so the referee will stop things. Last thing Wellington Phoenix need. I think Talley is telling Liam McGing to get up, so that trainer doesn't need to come onto the pitch, and they go down to 10 for these dying stages of the first half. Back to Sale. Fair idea what he's going to do with it as well. There he goes. Wayne with the knockdown. Radovic hassling Gordon to go back. Bush, clean ball out to Tate Russell. Someone in the channel. There's no one there. Liam McGing read it well. So 30 seconds or so for Wellington to get into the sheds with the lead.
Yeah, in the balance of the first half, Wellington, I think Talley will probably feel that they might have had another goal given the chances they've made, but I think Wanderers' last 15 minutes have made pretty good recovery in respect to limiting Wellington on those counters. I'm sure that Robertson will hammer home the point that they, when they do get in behind, they look very dangerous.
And that is half-time, the difference between the two sides. The goal to that young man, he's fourth in the A-League. Maratovic has been the difference so far. Reno Piscopo rattled the woodwork, and Kwame Yeboah late on for Wanderers, stung the palms of Oliver Sale. Apart from that, that man has been extremely impressive. Ulysses Davila causing a few problems for Wanderers. Good game here, building nicely at Wynn Stadium again on a Sunday night. A-League offering at half-time. It's Wellington Phoenix 1, Western Sydney Wanderers 0. And Mark Bosnich is standing by with the goal scorer.
Thank you very much, Adam. It was a wonderful first half. Scored the goals. Talk us through it, because Margouche made a good save, but you were alert enough to go and pick up the rebound.
Yeah, obviously it was a very lucky situation for me. Obviously I tried to play under him, and yeah, it fell to me luckily, and yeah, I got lucky with the open goal. So.
And you talk about luck, that's very, very humble of you, but it was still wonderful reflexes. I want to ask you about something else that obviously you've been practicing during the week. When the ball eventuates on your left-hand side, on Wanderer's right-hand side, I see you or Wilmer or Benjamin Wayne going all the way out onto the side, basically inviting one of the Wanderers players to come. Is that something that you've been working on this week as part of the plan to beat them?
Yeah, obviously they're playing with a back five. We want to try to stretch them, get their players out. So obviously with some width, it forces a player to either come out, or if they don't want to come out, they can obviously, our players can drive with the ball. But yeah, obviously when players come out, we can make forward runs, and that's obviously how our goal came.
Mirza Muradovic, go into the dressing room and listen to your manager. Thank you very much. Well, there you go, ladies and gentlemen, here live from Wynn Stadium. Join us after the break, where Wellington Phoenix are beating the Western Sydney Wanderers 1-0.
Introducing Macca's new fruit smoothies with no added sugar and protein options.
In Wollongong, and finally Wellington Phoenix have got off to a bright start and they've got more things to look forward to if that first half is anything to go by, although Western Sydney Wanderers did create, especially late in that half. Adam Peacock alongside Mark Bosnich to discuss things. Bosser, we're going to start with the goal. It was a beautifully worked manoeuvre from the Knicks.
It was, and they were doing that the whole first half, and you heard when I spoke to Mirza Maratovic before he went off about how they've been working on it. If you watch here, all the way through the middle, and Wanderers get caught. Look at the three players there in the middle. Ziggy Gordon comes out of position, and all of a sudden Piscopo goes through. Wonderful save by Margush. Sorry, but Maratovic was quick enough to react and to score that goal. But what was happening in the first half, I mentioned Piscopo, then it was obviously Maratovic. He was doing that the vast majority of time. So when they go down this side normally, there's a wonderful save and a really good pickup by Maratovic. It's Maratovic or Benjamin Wayne who come all the way out in the touchline, and you heard what he said, they're trying to spread them.
Yep.
And they're basically decoys. They're decoys because the real runners are the ones that are coming from midfield, and it was causing problems. But Carl Robinson and his staff made a few adjustments, because what needs to happen from the Wanderers' perspective is one of those midfielders need to be tracked by one of your midfielders. Even if Muller, or even if Yeboah, or even if Abini have to all come back in the midfield to help you out, you need to have somebody tracking, because as soon as you come out from defence, there is space in behind.
Davila, best game so far this season that you've seen him play?
Oh, he's been excellent in quite a few games, but I think it's been the most consistent half that he's had for 45 minutes in terms of being involved so often. There's no doubt about that. And it's quite obvious as well, the Wanderers haven't played for 11 days, whereas obviously Wellington had played 7 days before. And you could tell that the first 15, 20 minutes, I thought the Wanderers a little bit rusty. Throw that into 6 changes. And I think that sort of explained that side for them. That was a wonderful opportunity. Ulysses De Villa is an excellent player. And like I said, for me, he's been excellent in so many games this season. I just think throughout the whole 45 minutes, not only from the fact of with the ball, he was absolutely outstanding, but without the ball as well, because they did do a lot of defending, and boy, did Wellington defend well as well. They were excellent.
Now, Wanderers, it's worked well for them so far this year with the ball, how they've manoeuvred the ball around the pitch. There's no James Troisi today. I don't know how big a factor is this, but are they looking a little predictable in possession?
Well, I don't think it's so much predictable. I think they've just got a little bit slow in the last third. No problem when you're building up at them in the first 2/3 of your park to sort of slow it down. You want to make sure everybody gets in their position. You want to set up the play. You want to make sure everybody's fresh. But once you get into that last third, your attacking third, their defensive third, you've got to up it to 5th and 6th gear. You can't keep playing at the same pace, because what it does basically, it just gives the opposition so much confidence to say, look, if we just stay in formation here, they're not going to get in behind us. They haven't got a massive presence up front where they're going to really cause problems with a high ball in and the second balls, and they're not shifting us. So they get very, very comfortable and very, very confident, and that gives them as well a bit of time, a little bit of respite. So then they think, as soon as we get it, we're going to hit them on transition, and you saw that with that wonderful chance that Margush, you could say, you could probably have to say, probably kept Wanderers in the game with that save one-on-one against Piscopo.
Up the other end, the goalkeeper for Wellington Phoenix, always a big, big call to drop an experienced international player like Stefan Marinovic. So far, what have you made of Ollie Sale?
Ollie Sale's been excellent, there's no doubt about that. I said at the start of the game, we talked about obviously 6 changes for the Wanderers and 5 changes for Wellington. I said out of those 11 changes, the biggest surprise for me was that Marinovic was left out for Sale. And even at the beginnings, I thought Wanderers started off, when I say started off, first 4 or 5 minutes, they were on the front foot, and they had quite a few corners, as we know, and a few set plays, especially at the beginning. I thought Oliver Sale came through it really, really well, and he made an excellent save then from Yeboah as well right before half-time. He's given them much confidence, but you have to say right this moment in time, well done to Wellington and well done to Ufi Tale, because they've obviously got a plan and it's worked quite well, but it's far from over, because for me, the last 15 minutes of the half, Wanderers came back into it and you started to see little bits emerging. Because they had such a glut of possession because of the way they play, towards the end of each half, that's really going to start to tell on the opposition, because all the chasing, they can't do that anymore. So that's when you're going to see teams really have to be, really spot on to defend against the Wanderers.
They've got so much experience on the bench, Western Sydney Wanderers. They've got 3 players who have played more than 100 A-League games in Duke, Kamau and Georgievski, and they've got 2 players that have played in the Premier League in Simon Cox and also Jordan Much, who could make his club debut off the bench. So a lot to look forward to about this second half. Can Wellington hang on or go on with it, or do Western Sydney Wanderers twist things and get a vital 3 points to go second on the ladder? Find out what happens after the break, live from WIN Stadium. this second half. Tallo's looking forward to a second half from the Mexican like we saw in the first. He joins us now, the Wellington Phoenix coach. What pleased you most about that 45 minutes of football?
I think our discipline in defending, I thought we defended our box quite well, despite giving a few quarters away. But I think what we need to improve on in the second half is when we actually work hard to win the ball, is maintaining possession of that ball. Yeah,
sometimes you're breaking really quickly. Is it just up to the players to decide when you want to do it, those cues, or do you want them to just build up a bit slower?
Well, it depends on the situation. If we have numbers to break and go forward and run behind their 3 defenders, we'll break. But at times I need to recognise when we have to maintain possession of that ball.
Thanks for your time. Good luck in the second half.
Thank you.
Talay joining us, and we're off and running in this second half. And through James McGarry with Wellington kicking off. Peacock alongside Robbie Slater. No changes so far for either side, but you dare say that the benches are going to be well used in this second half.
Yep, the benches will be absolutely crucial, and you see there's a fair amount of quality, particularly with Wanderers, and that's not to say that Wellington's isn't, but they've got dealing with quite a few injuries. Obviously, Cameron Devlin's a big in for them on the bench. A lot of energy he can bring to a game. But Wanderers finished off that half positively, and they'll want to try and continue on that in that vein.
Oh, what a spin from Davila, and lovely leave. Piscopo looking for it on his left foot, blocked. And he fell to Davila, so big opportunity early for Wellington, down to Rufer. Brilliantly holds possession of the ball. Davila works his way around it, pushes off Fenton, brings him into play with a ball that nearly goes over the byline, doesn't. Rufer attacks it. So another vibrant start from Wellington. Lewis all over Yeboah, who copped a little nick from Davila and wins a foul.
Well, it's really good work from Yeboah. His team were under pressure there, and they just needed someone to hold the ball up, and that's exactly what he did, and drew the foul. And Piscopo, on the edge of that penalty area, had McGarry in space coming down that left-hand side, elected to try and shoot. Chance was gone.
So Wellington, the 4 points that they've accrued so far in their 6 games played, they've taken the lead in both of those games. Draw against MacArthur, mitigating circumstances there with the loss of Alex Rufer, and a win against the Mariners. Abini, something to defend here though. With Wilmering, good looking ball, over to McGarry.
Yeah, that's nothing wrong with that cross from Wilmering.
Abini bursting into the box. He's got Muller attacking the back stick, and somehow it misses him. He was waiting, the German. And with the outside of the boot, Abini's cross comes to nothing.
Well, I'd like to see another angle, because Bernie Abini takes a touch and that flashes across the face of goal, and there was 2 players at the back post. I think it was Yeboah and Muller. You see it better here. Win that battle there. Good play, and gets a bit of luck. A double ricochet, takes a touch, and he peels to the back post, and he's inches away. Maybe just too much pace on it for him to stick a leg out and poke it into an empty net.
Here's Muller now, out to Tate Russell. His cross goes a long way, and Fenton's got enough time and guile to bring it down with his chest to sail.
That's another good cross. But, oof.
Whack! So it's out of his hands now, he can't pick it up again. And, well, Bozza gave him a rapid half-time. And Mark Bosnich.
That was about to make the YouTube.
Over to you, Bozza.
Well, yes, you could say rap. I'm going to say just after that little moment, kiss of death, and my heart just went to my throat.
Super start to the second half.
Yeah, quick. Mark Natter. McGowan and Gordon. Wayne forcing McGowan to go one side. He got the desired result there defensively, Wellington, but it fell straight to Wanderers in O'Doherty, and now Bacchus. Abini. Wilmering forward. Abini thinking about the shot. Goes for it now, but it's always well wide.
You just can't wrap that boot around it quite enough. But one thing evident from the Wanderers in the start of this second half was this sail, and they were There wasn't too much pace on that to carry it into an empty net, but they're moving the ball a lot quicker.
All been told to sit in the crowd. COVID rules.
Really? I'm not sure how effective that's going to be.
A few up now, which is good to see. The saxophone's going and Wanderers have the ball going forward again. So pressure building here. Muller can turn and have a shot, which Sale does really well with to get down and then palm it at right angles. Wayne, that's good centre forward play to Davila, who then probably gives it away straight away, and then Wanderers can come back again. Doherty just driving forward, seeing space and running into it, out to Wilmering. And Doherty wins a foul. Fenton jumping in.
He just gets to that ball first and toes it past and draws the foul. In a good position for the Wanderers.
John O'Doherty, nearly 2 years since he suffered an ACL injury himself. Hasn't started this season, gets his opportunity this afternoon with Graham Dorrance suspended. Nikolai Muller will take this free kick.
Great position. Natter in there. Yeboah. Watch for the movement of Ziggy Gordon. He really does move well on set pieces.
Muller just floats it up there and Yeboah's header goes straight to Sale. Big opportunity. Either side, Robbie, was the way out with not a lot of pace on it, but still.
That's where it's difficult for Yeboah. It's slightly behind him, and because there's not a lot of pace on that ball, he's got to generate the power. He can't get direction. Will be the most important point there.
Muller in a tight area. Goes back after needing something from Louis Fenton. Not exactly sure what it is. He's off the field of play, so play can go on. Back is the loose one.
And Wellington give it away straight away, so the pressure will stay. Although they're 10 men, Muller still down on his near touchline.
Here's Wilmering going forward, looking for Bernie Abini. His head can't meet it. Muller's back on now. To Russell, that's a good-looking cross as well. Back stick is Fenton. The number of times it's falling to a Wellington player at the back stick, Robbie.
It's Fenton.
Anything in that?
No, he doesn't. Fenton doesn't know. There's nothing meaningful in that. But Wilmering, having a great start to this second half on the left-hand side.
Came in as Fenton and Muller were continuing deliberations about what happened, and now it's breaking for the Knicks. And Wayne trying to win a free kick, and he's successful in his attempt.
And that's a reliever for Wellington. It just takes the pressure off. To be able to force Wanderers now to regroup in their own half, because Wanderers have been camped in their half for the last five or 6 minutes.
Rufer to Lewis. Villa have a shot. Most blocked shots in the league. This is Villa. Is that him into the book? It is. Judged to be a little too reckless from the Mexican.
Yeah, and stops a counter as well, probably coming to the thinking of the referee.
Yeah, nearly 30 shots in the A-League, Robbie, for Ulysses Gavilla, and half of them have been blocked. Natter looking for Yeboah, really well to bring it down, and unfortunately shanks the shot, even missing the Davila fan club behind the goal.
Just off balance, took it beautifully. On the chest and created a small opening. Was always going to be a hard one to hit.
Yeah, you could say he did the hard work right, but I mean, trying to smash a ball with your off foot on a half volley can be considered hard as well. So the whole action was difficult. Bell did it half right. Here's going forward. Maradovic can't quite bring in Piscopo. He hits the deck. Maradovic, it falls to him. And play through McGarry out on the left-hand side. Maradovic, the goal scorer. Lewis, they'll start again. The Wanderers crew are back up on their feet. All the best of the COVID officer telling them to sit down in this second half. Maradovic.
Good luck again.
Well needed. Davila driving forward. Fenton trying to run in behind. Unfortunately, Wayne closed that space by moving him that side as well. Fenton again. Rufer had a good afternoon. Been everywhere for Wellington. McGarry. Changes are going to come soon for both sides, and that firepower for Western Sydney Wanderers. It'll be intriguing to see how Carl Robinson utilises it. 4 attacking players of note on the bench. Simon Cox, Mitch Duke, Jordan Much, Bruce Kamau. At the moment, they're defending. Tim Payne at centre-back for the first time this season. Fenton, Davila, company, and he wins a corner.
Yeah, just got a touch. Nadon Davila not really going anywhere, allows it to go for a corner. It'll be their first one of the second half. Certainly on the corner count, Wanderers had certainly won that in the first half.
At 9-2. Lewis will be the man to deliver it for the Knicks. Beattie meets it. Away it goes. To begin. And that comes to nothing.
Yeah,
Throw in though.
Yeah, but I think he made the right decision there because they were pressing him. There was nothing really on if he did it on the ball there and lost it. They were 3-on-2.
Mark Bosnich, down to you. I just saw Carl Robinson looking at his watch, and I don't think he's checking if it's nearly time for dinner. These substitutions, when would you press the go button on some of them?
Probably after the hour mark, there's no doubt about that. But it must be said, you know, they say that the manager, you know, earns his corn at half-time, and the majority, let's just wait till this action plays out.
Here's Muller going forward with intent. Russell, instead of crossing, shoots into the side netting. Was expecting the cross there. Go ahead, Bozza.
Yeah, should have cut that one back. I was just saying that, you know, there's a saying in football that a manager at half-time is the place where you could say, earns the majority of his corn, and you have to say that about Carl Robinson, because I don't know what he said to them, but they've come out like an absolute tornado in this second half, and you have to give a lot of credit for Wellington for holding out, because the way that they come out of them, I just thought it was inevitable they were going to score, but Wellington have held out, and they're starting to put their foot on the ball to try to slow it down. So it's going to be crucial now with the substitutions, especially from Western Sydney Wanderers' perspective. I would start them off on the 60th minute.
Well, that is coming up soon. There's no sign of anyone coming back from the warm-up just yet, but might not be too far away. McGarry, Escapo, Rufer looking for Villa. Fenton will keep it in. Maradovic, Davila. Good movement here from the Knicks. Fenton, does it come to anything? Oh, it nearly fell back for Maradovic. It was the right idea from Fenton, just execution-wise a little off. Get another go here, perhaps. Building up patiently this time, Wellington.
And again, Nata. superbly positioned to cut that danger out. It was really good play on this right-hand side, the way they worked it. Davila involved.
Vitale screaming at Olisau to say quicker. Didn't need to take that touch, which meant that he could only go down this right-hand side. He eventually kicked it out. Here's Wilmering. He can get on the outside of Rufer. Louis, Ferenc, Pushkas, Fenton. How's that for a middle name? Wilmering, cross man. Wonder how many. Got a child now, would you call it Robbie Jurgen Klopp Slater Jr.?
It's a bit late.
Here's another corner for the Wanderers. Muller. Wellington send last minute a couple of attackers forward, but the corner comes in looking for Gordon. It's a flat one. Russell, does he have a go on his old home ground? Cross is blocked, and Skippo got off to a dynamic start. First 20 minutes, he was the best player on the pitch. Well, that's a soft one from Rufer. Clayton Lewis did well in the end, and he tagged Jordan O'Doherty on the ground there.
Yeah, you just see there Rufer or Lewis pick up the ball in the middle. You need Davila or Piscopo to maybe just drop off and be a bouncer. You can bounce the ball off them and drag some of those Wanderers defenders around. There it is. That's not the way you're supposed to bounce it though.
Backus looking to flick one through to Muller, and Lewis, who's handled things pretty well in a new position for him this afternoon. He can go forward, and he almost links up with Ben Waine.
Right idea. He pulled off the shoulder. Nutter there, Benjamin Waine, and a bit of ball he was in. Oh, it's end to end.
Russell is going to open up. Humidity will be a deciding factor in that, you dare say, in this second half. And Liam McGing's given away a corner. Another one for the Wanderers. Tele is in conversation with his staff. I think some changes are coming. Cameron Devlin is coming back from the warm-up.
Yeah, that's an obvious one. So much energy he can provide in that middle of the park.
Muller for the 11th time this evening. Been all him, but the majority have. That's a good one as well. Yeboah throwing himself at it. McGowan stayed up. He chases that one down. A lot of space here for Backus. Keanu Backus crosses over. And it's away from Louis Fenton again.
And they just hung off Backus there, and he did well. Driving towards that near post. Backus wants to take it short, and they will.
Tor just got away with it. Yep. Stayed in somehow. Piscopo.
Need this one.
Yeah.
And they wasted that opportunity.
Careful, Reno. Don't tell Ali Rosa what to do with his cards.
He's already seen it.
So it is Reno Piscopo, who's not over the moon about his number going up. You'd imagine that Clayton Lewis will be pushed further forward, and Devlin to patrol in front of his back four.
Well, Piscopo, that's what you want to see from play. You don't want to see him happy coming off, but this is Wilmering's father, Glenn. I had a chat to him at half-time, actually.
And just behind is Lois, Cameron's grandmother.
Ah,
Cameron's parents sitting to the left, but yeah, Lois doesn't come to many games watching Cameron Devlin. Absolutely pumped. She's got Cameron's jersey on as well.
well, that's brilliant. As I said, Glenn Wilmering actually played in 1981, a grand final, Sutherland against Auburn, in which we played against each other. There you go. It's going back a while.
Rufer's got a sore leg thanks to that little challenge. Nikolai Muller picking up a yellow card.
Yeah, you don't want to be worried about this. You won't want to lose Rufer after just bringing on Devlin for Piscopo.
He's got Matthew Rydenton on the
Yeah.
bench, but it looks like just one of those knocks which sting for about 30 seconds. So double change coming up for Wanderers, it looks like. Bozza, he's rolling the dice here, Carl Robinson, with Simon Cox and Bruce Kamau coming on.
Yeah, completely understandable. I thought, like I said, about the hour, so only 4 minutes off, and also understandable from Wellington's perspective as well. I think Wellington need to look at maybe bringing on Locke Ingloy as well up front. I think the two boys up front are a little bit spent. They've done a lot of work, and they need to have some type of option up there because the ball's just coming back. I understood exactly what Robbie was talking about. They need to slow things down. They need somebody up there to hold it up.
Davila, this is not what Wanderers really want. Charging forward, but Fenton saw the Mexican going in, so decided to get back in position defensively, and Davila thought he was there. This is an impressive way to win the ball back for Wellington. Chance for Lewis, perhaps. Good defending from Ziggy Gordon. Falls to Rufer.
Well, he's the only player in the box or yet coming into the box.
Here is Muratovic on that far side. All the way back to Devlin. Fenton. Davila is the other side of Bacchus. Trouble here, trouble. Davila, oh, what a block that was from Ziggy Gordon.
And another shot blocked on Davila. That is an important one.
He's the king.
Terrific challenge from Gordon. Well played, Ben Wayne there, just holding the ball up. That's what you want your striker to do when you're under a bit of pressure. And that ball goes up there, you want it sticky.
Lewis, nice little neat interchange with McGarry, and that ball tailing back towards Wayne, but not enough.
Just too far in front of him to launch himself at that super ball from McGarry.
So here are the changes. Bernie Abini will make way for Simon Cox. I'd imagine that Cox will occupy that centre of the front three, and Nikolai Muller coming off for Bruce Kamau. Boa stays out there. We understand Mitch Duke's only good for 10-15 minutes, given the fact that he got out of quarantine 14 days in a hotel on Friday. And Jordan Much, more of a midfield type, former Premier League player with Birmingham City, Cardiff, QPR, and also Crystal Palace. So we'll see him at some stage in the last 25 minutes here in Wollongong, where Western Sydney Wanderers are chasing the game, chasing second spot on the A-League ladder. Win the game, that's where they'll be tonight. Doherty and Gordon. Zips one into the new man Kamau, and it's a bright start from Bruce. Good early touches with the left foot. Ollie Sale, he has some presence in that goal. It has to be something special to get over his head.
Well, it certainly helps him to go straight at him, but a good first contribution from Kamau, who can make a difference when he's in the right mood off the bench.
Davila over the top, so quick with his thought and his feet. Wayne, nicely judged ball to Fenton, who links up with Wayne. Davila again, another shot, another block is it? He goes with the right. He had Margush interested.
Yeah, off target. Well, it didn't get blocked, and he feints. Great skill from the Mexican. But didn't really get a hold of his shot, did he? Had Margush worried. Square ball there, big feint there. Gordon goes to ground, and it's well past that far post.
Two good periods of play there, but for Wellington, and the injection from Ufitale of Cameron Devlin has made a huge difference. They got their energy back in the midfield.
It's Devlin alongside Rufer. Cox is caught by McGing from behind, so this is a free kick in a really dangerous area for Western Sydney. Charlie Sale only wants 2 in the wall.
Is that a right decision, Bozza? 2 in the wall?
You know my thoughts on walls, Robbie. You experienced it. I don't like any walls from that distance.
That's why I asked.
There was one with Winton Rufer who will try and sneak in the story at one stage, either tonight or soon. It was a call for no wall, and he was relieved. Anyway, here's the one from O'Doherty. He elects to chip it over, looking for the tall timber at the back. It's gone back over the other side. Kwame Yeboah is the man on the spot. The Wanderers bench, they're high-fiving. Everyone in Wanderers colours are in raptures. And we're back square.
And Wellington's difficult at set pieces. Defending set pieces continues. Wonderful play. It's a rehearsed set piece. That's why they run to the bench. Peels off to the back post. What about that from Kamau for composure? And Yeboah who's had a good game, goes to the back post where it's obviously rehearsed and heads it into an empty net. Yeah, terrific set piece from the Western Sydney Wanderers.
Keanu Bacchus meeting that one at the back stick, and yeah, you looked at the run of Yeboah, he knew exactly what was going on, and execution 100% spot on from Western Sydney Wanderers. Big final 20 minutes coming up to end your A-League weekend on Fox Sports or wherever you're watching around the world. And some talking points this weekend. What is going to be thrown at us in this last 20 minutes? Ball bouncing around at the top of the Wanderers box. Devlin does well to win it back off Keanu Bacchus. Flicks it to Wayne, who finds the back of the net, but the flag goes up. It was a late one. He waited until the play unfolded.
So we'll have a look at it, but I think Cameron Devlin, a superb run through the middle. And Wayne just went a bit, he thought the ball was going to be played earlier, and I think that's what he's saying now. And because he had an extra touch, Wayne may have drifted into an offside position. We're going to see he's clearly offside. Maybe she'll be relieved because that's at the near post, but well offside.
Does he go, well, I knew it was offside, so near post doesn't really matter. Gordon. That's an intelligent knockdown from McGarry instead of going out. They can relieve some pressure here, Wellington, by playing out, and they do through Payne. Avila wanting the ball as much as possible. For the most part, his teammates have obliged him with possession in dangerous areas. Devlin assessing his options. Fenton and Rufer. Just not the ball speed to see it through to Avila, who's on the other side of his marker. Falls to the goal scorer, Yeboah. Bacchus. Natta. And they'll go out the other side through McGowan.
Terrific game of football, really is. Both sides on the attack. That's sloppy from Wellington.
It's sapping conditions, oddly enough. It's really humid here today, so it's going to take it out of the players. You wonder how they run out in the game. A couple of subs coming back, important substitutions. New men to the club for Western Sydney, and Much and Duke about to come on. Devlin doing what he does best and winning the ball back for Wellington. There was a chance on for Wayne the other side with Muratovic. He elects to go to Avila. Pressured by Natta to go back, and it goes to McGee. Gary. Kwame Yeboah hassling Rufer into giving it back to McGarry. Tight area here. Get the crossover. Ooh, in a corner. Yeboah trying to flick it on for Kamau, but back it'll come for Wellington. Muratovic trying to twist Ziggy Gordon this way and that. Can't get rid of him. involvement. See if they come back right here and trying to get him involved.
Wanderers going to squeeze here. Only one winner in that kind of duel.
Devlin and Kamau head-to-head. Fenton full-blooded challenge on Daniel Wilmering. That went out. And the changes are coming. So Mitchell Duke, not that long ago, playing football in Saudi Arabia. Didn't have the best of times of it towards the end there. He is back at the club.
Oh, well done, Yeboah.
Kwame Yeboah, the goal scorer. Another goal for him. Scored against Victory, but Mitchell Duke left the club last season as clearly their best player. He is back on loan. And Jordan Much, a Wanderers and A-League debut for the former Premier League player with 78 appearances in England's top league to his name across 4 clubs. He's going into a deeper position in place of Jordan O'Doherty. Here's Wilmering for the cross. Bodies attacking it and finding the feet of Bruce Kamau. Wanderers have gone from 1 down to 1 up really quickly.
Well, maybe lost their concentration there, Wellington, with the substitutes coming on. But Kamau gets himself into the box, and that's what you got to do, and make an impact off the bench. How often have we seen benches make this kind of an impact? Ball into Duke, come out to Wilmering, who's had a really good game. And that's a clever ball, isn't it? How about that for a ball from a youngster? Look at that. Just dinks it over the top of Payne, just asking someone to attack it. And Kamau obliges and gets himself a tap in. Brilliant ball from Wilmering.
Wellington's goal scorer, his night is done. Mirza Maratovic and Charles Lokalingoi, who joined the club this week. Trialled as part of their pre-season preparations, Wellington Phoenix. Tale knows him from Sydney FC youth days. Brought him to the club, the big striker up front alongside Ben Waine, and Villa has won a foul. Cameron Devlin has gone flying in on Keanu Bacchus. And Devlin and Bacchus, who were in the same Wanderers youth team together, knew that they were going to come and face each other this evening, and Cameron Devlin, who looks like he's going to leave a reminder on his old mate to look at tomorrow. Or has he done something more sinister here? Bacchus, he's still down. It's more than a knock all of a sudden. It's not his knee, is it? That's good. Phew. Still for a moment he suffered something worse when his all that pressure went through his knee when he met the ground. Anyway, it's a free kick for Wellington. Australian fun. Difficult to manufacture much here. What's the options here, Robbie?
Well, it's very central, so it's difficult, and it's difficult to get an angle on any kind of cross.
Lewis just floats it up, looking for Rufer at the back stick. It's alive, and it's in the back of the net. And Wellington have got an equaliser, and it's Louis Fenton, of all players.
And he almost sprints away from all of his teammates. And didn't Lewis find the angle on that cross? You know, a central area, it's usually very difficult. I don't think Carl Robertson will be too pleased. Rufer with a superb header as well, back across the goal. And Louis Fenton just pops up, just changes the direction of that ball into the back of the net, and Wellington respond from a set piece.
His 8th A-League goal. He actually scored on debut when he was marking Alessandro Del Piero in Del Piero's A-League debut back in 2012. Louis Fenton, who can be described as a veteran now for the Knicks, even though he's only 27 years of age, with a vital goal. Lingoi going in and getting there before Natha, and away they can come. Wellington all of a sudden sprung to life. Waine back to Davila, sliding in. Is Jordan Much, and not illegally according to the referee. Tallies like Dennis Lilly appealing for LB.
Well, he certainly lunged into it, but they didn't make the most of that Wellington, that counter. They both run into the same space. Here comes Davila onto the ball. Sliding in.
Cox, this game building beautifully. Russell's cross has too much on it, but what a 10 minutes we're in for here to end your A-League weekend. 2-2, a couple of comebacks.
Well, I'll tell you what,
Big moments.
that happens anywhere else on the pitch, it's a free kick. That's all I'll say. It's a dangerous challenge. And, yeah, the ball might be away, but I think they got away with one there. Put it this way, if he gives it, VAR and turning it around.
Look at that, 3 goals in 8 minutes. You can't say that the game's sprung to life all of a sudden, because it has been.
It's always been alive. It's been a terrific game of football.
High tempo. Really enjoyable watch. Here's Devlin looking for Wayne, who loses his footing, and Gordon can come away now for Wanderers and launch a counter-attack. Bozza, how is it down there?
Absolutely amazing. Look, obviously with the COVID situation, we haven't had the luxury of crowds, but there's a wonderful crowd here as well. I'll let this go.
Kamau, out to Wilmering. Can he come up with another good cross? No, too much on this one. Bozza, back to you.
I was just about to say, great timing, Adam, coming to me right then. But anyway, it's just amazing down here. It's been an excellent football game, there's no doubt about that, but the excitement that's been generated by both sets of crowds and also both of the coaching staffers are getting into it here. But it must be said, the changes made by both sides have been absolutely fantastic, and there's very few better feelings for a manager and his staff when a set play does come off, and we saw 2 come off there, one for the Wanderers and also just one there for Wellington. Still anyone's game. If you have to go a slight pendulum advantage, I would still keep it with the Wanderers, but Wellington, they fight and they fight and they fight, and they're at the most dangerous when you don't expect it.
Ball firing around through the air in midfield. Lewis rides that challenge really well. Finds Wayne with a zippy pass. Lewis is hobbling in back play, trying to run off a knock. It is literally all happening here at Wynn Stadium. Wanderers looking to go second. Wellington looking to get away from Melbourne Victory. Got a favour from Newcastle Jets earlier to keep Victory on the bottom. Put a gap on them here if they can find a winner the Knicks. Duke's touch is heavy and brings down Devlin.
It's brilliant from Devlin. It's exactly what he brings. So good at breaking down play. Quick into the challenge there. So much energy.
Yep, his grandmother liked that one. Lois. Sitting in front of us here, proudly watching her grandson, is Simon Cox.
You see there is on the other side of the pitch, Devlin.
Much. Made some introduction to A-League football, giving away a penalty. Here he is on the ball, looking to create, bring in Russell. Gary on that occasion. Clayton Lewis isn't exactly moving freely out there after that knock either.
Does well there, Benjamin Wayne, to win his side a throw, and he's second best, and he's worked so hard up front for Wellington.
Caught a couple of times defensively on this right side, probably with Wilmering in dangerous areas. We'll see if he can cause a few more problems. The former Wanderers ball boy, dying stages here. He's got Lingoi for company now. Much. It's almost a really decisive pass, but it's good defending by one of the goal scorers tonight, Louis Fenton. Payne. Devlin just bounces it off to McGing. That's well done by the Knicks, playing out. Lewis into Wayne. He's got time and can turn. Can't have to go to Davila, you feel, Robbie.
Just got into a little bit of space, got on a half turn and just couldn't keep possession. Well, he's the obvious one, isn't it? Wellington going to win the game. You get Davila on the ball in that front third, and we know what can happen, but Wanderers keep probing, keep asking questions. Both teams, terrific game. Right on the knife's edge here.
Backus straight through the middle to Kamau. Devlin just gets enough on it. The Lingoi can't bring it under control. Goes back to Cox. Crosses Devlin, flying in for a change. Missed everything. Perhaps fortunately for him as well. There's a bit of intent about that one. Much with a lot of time. Goes out to Russell. cross in. Look at that for a diving header. Tim Payne. 10 out of 10. Thomas Aquilina has been called back from the warm-up for Wanderers. Matthew Wright-Denton is ready to go for the Knicks. His last changes by either coach. Last options. Russell. Options in the middle for Tate Russell. Duke flying through the air, trying to meet it. Out to Ziggy Gordon. Is brought down. No free kick.
What about that defending from Tim Payne as well? Fantastic. And Gordon wanting the free kick.
If recent history has told us anything, Robbie, a game that, an open game, which is 2-2, going into the dying stages, has a bit of drama left. Who will it be? Where will it come from? Tate Russell has the ball, looking for a cross. Instead elects to find Kamau. The turn, perhaps. Much. Hit him from distance. That's too much. From Jordan to Mitchell Duke. Cramping up is Liam McGee.
Superb game. Daniel Wilmering.
Yeah, so it's Aquilina for Wilmering for Wanderers and Avila for Wright-Denton for Wellington Phoenix. Is that a sign of intent? Going to be a long last 8 minutes or so for Liam McGee with cramp. Imagine we've got 4 extra. Round about the mark. Denton's first attempt is an air swing. Bozza, I'll ask you who's more likely, but is it the type of game where it's impossible to tell given the end-to-end nature of it?
Well, it's always impossible to tell, Adam. That's, I guess that's why it's such a popular game all around the world, because it just can go either way. I said to you before, my last time I spoke, I thought that pendulum was slightly swinging towards the Wanderers, but Wellington have been absolutely phenomenal. And like I said, they're at the most dangerous when they're when you least expect it. That comeback, twice really. I mean, the offside goal, like it was called offside, but that was after Wanderers had equalised. And if they come back again after going 2-1 down, just shows the resilience that this team have got. For me, like I said, it can still go either way. If anyone but Wanderers slightly ahead.
And they've got the opportunity here. Russell's cross was rifled in. And James McGarry was the one to head away. Back to Russell. Put a move on Clayton Lewis. He's done a lot of work in the heart for Wellington. And here's Gordon's cross. McGee stretching, just what you want with cramp. Duke is up. Ladies Rufer, but only as far as Natta, and Wanderers can keep building the pressure. Russell. Duke looking for him. What a story that would be on his return to Wanderers. Reigning player of the season, quickly back on loan. Might get another opportunity here. Much directing traffic. Oh, that was a shot. Denton is back there that time. Kamau's flying through the sky.
Wellington are really deep here. Can't get a hold of the ball. It's just Wanderers asking all the questions.
Here's trouble. Kamau loops it over the top. Fenton's there. Headed for the equaliser and headed crucially on that occasion in his own 18-yard box. Ben Wayne's the only one forward of halfway for Wellington. Back he drops to defend. Some tired bodies out there, especially in yellow shirts. Can they hang on for a crucial point? Crucial in the sense that it'll be their first point at this venue, their home for this season, Wynn Stadium in Wollongong. Natta. Bacchus. No one in the box yet. Now there is. There's 2 there, Duke and Cox. It's over Duke's head. How many times has that happened since he's been on? Russell with the left foot this time. Sale is well positioned.
A decent strike, but again, positioned well. Goalkeeper just plucking that out, holding on to it. Good hands.
Green. Header. It stays from Aquilina's head. Devlin. Ability to look forward for Wellington now, so where their creativity is going to come from. Away, but it only goes out for a goal kick. Big call to bring off Davila. Robbie, I mean, we don't know the data and how he's feeling, and they might have seen signs that we don't know
Yeah,
about.
there might have been that, so that's all you can think, really, because he's such a great outlet for them. When they're going forward, giving the ball anywhere under pressure, and he'll hold on to it. They've lost that now, and obviously, when he turns that creative spark.
It's well read by Rufer, and Wayne's off and running down this left channel. He's got Lokolingoi for company. Denton making a move down this right side as well. That's well played. Keeping it in out there for Wanderers was Dylan McGowan, and Mark Natter can drive forward. Got about 2 minutes left here in Wollongong. Can Wanderers conjure up a winner? Over the top from Bacchus. Oh, that's well done by McGarry. Tied everything, stretching for that. Did well. Lewis just launches it out to Denton. Rufer looking to get Lokolingoi in behind. He gets on the end of it that time, but it was a tight-looking cross from Charles, who hasn't played an A-League game this season, only just joined the club. He's been training with Marconi. Over the top, Duke brings it down. Here's Bruce Kamau. 4 for him on his right, so he elects not to shoot. Duke. He'll shoot if asked. Aquilina. Running out of time into the last minute. Bacchus. And Jordan Much hanging on here, Wellington. Cox out to Russell. Cross it again. It's a good one as well. Oh, nearly a mix-up at the back, but a crucial header skids off the top of Liam McGee's bonds. And out for a throw-in.
Yeah, because Sale had come for it as well, so got a big flick on it. And luckily, there was no Wanderers player at the back post, but they'll look like they're going to have the last say here.
They've got one more chance brewing. Aquilina involved in a tangle. Devlin trying to win a foul. Smartly does. That is a huge relief for Wellington. That'll do us. A hectic 90 minutes and a little bit more here in Wollongong. And have a look at that picture. That tells you everything about what respective playing groups have put into this contest. Wonderful viewing again. This A-League season keeps on throwing up unbelievably watchable games. And tonight there are no winners. Both teams away with a point. Plenty of talking points again, plenty to mull over, and coaches to ask themselves what if, to make the right choice. On the whole, substitutes worked for both sides. Robbie Slater at full time. It's Wellington Phoenix 2, Western Sydney Wanderers 2.
Well, it's a great game of football, great tempo and intensity, and Davila walking up is about to get interviewed, I would think, and he was holding the back of his leg there a little bit, but yeah, superb effort from both sets of players. And on the balance of the game, you'd say it's probably a fair result. Probably not the result that both coaches were looking for, but a lot of positives for both sides.
Robbie Slater, thank you for your company this evening. I'm going to hand it down now to Mark Bosnich to start some reaction.
Yeah, thank you very much, Adam, and total agreement. What a fantastic game that was. We have Ulysses Davila down here. Ulysses, fantastic game. What was, from the players' perspective, yourself especially, how did you guys feel?
Yeah, I think it was a good game for the people. The people enjoy. We won the 3 points, but yeah, it was tough game. They are a very good team. They play a good game. We play also good game, but yeah, we share the points.
Yeah, they are a very good team, but today with 5 changes before, I don't think a lot of people expected you guys to win or even draw this game, but you just had a very good game plan, and at the start especially, you were excellent.
Yeah. I think we are getting back the confidence slowly. You know, it's a tough beginning, but we are keeping working, and I hope we change quickly.
And Ulysses, the boys who were commentating, Robbie and Adam, were asking in commentary, why did you come off? Were you injured, or were you just tired? Or
No, just boss make the subs, and we have to respect.
Ulysses De Villa, thank you very much for your time. Back to you, Adam.
Yeah, Ulysses brings so much to the league, not only his play, his attractive nature of doing things out on the park, but these fans, the Mexicans, they can come back every time. His crew of fellow expats here giving so much atmosphere here at Wynn Stadium. Let's get back down to Bozza with one of Wellington's best tonight.
Thank you very much, Alex Rufo. What a fantastic game of football that was from both sets of sides. And I was just saying to Ulysses before the game, with the 5 changes and things weren't going particularly well, I don't think a lot of people would have fancied you here today, but you showed so much fight once again.
Yeah, look, that's something that we've been working on. The boys that came in did a fantastic job. We've got fight in us, and look, we're disappointed not to take more points, but look, we move on to the next game.
And the plan worked to a T, especially in the first half, that must be said. And you had that little spell as well after you scored the goal where there was that chance for Reno, and he also hit the post. Was that maybe the opportunity you sort of thought to yourself deep down, you know, we should have probably got a second then?
Yeah, look, it seems like those second opportunities we get to make it 2-0 and give us a bit more of a buffer haven't been going in for us so far. So once that starts happening, I'm sure that we'll start to get some more points. But look, I'm really proud of the boys, and we move on to next week.
And what was Ufi Tale's message before today's game?
Look, just to keep to the basics, stick to what we've been doing, and to give a lot of the boys confidence, because we've been doing really well, and we needed to stay to our game plan.
Alex Rufo, fantastic game today. Congratulations. I'll let you get back with the boys.
Cheers.
Back to you, Adam.
Yeah, superb performance from Alex Rufo. He's the nephew of Winton, who I mentioned before in commentary. He was the one that sent a free kick Mark Bosnich's way when he elected not to have a wall, but that's a story for another day. Great scenes here in Wollongong. It's the crew for Ulysses De Villa. And Tate Russell taking a family selfie, I think, or with a few Wollongong mates, it looks like. Local, still lives in Wollongong, so he would have loved playing out there tonight on the ground where he used to play for Wolves as a kid. And still a local. Once a gong boy, always a gong boy. So he loved that. And we love seeing Bruce Kamau out there. And he came up with some really big moments when his team needed it, Bozza.
Yes, he did, Adam. Bruce, congratulations on today. A fantastic game for the neutral, especially. I know you'll be disappointed not to have got all 3 points, but when you went 2-1 up, did you think, OK, this is it now?
Yeah, to be fair, I thought that we were going to see out the game, but when we conceded the goal, you know, it was positive from the boys trying to get another one, and I think we did well, but we should have really taken away 3 points from that stage.
And you may have been a little bit rusty first half, the team. I don't know what Carl Robinson said, but the second half you were like a tornado. What did he say to you guys at halftime?
To be fair, I'm not too sure. I wasn't in the change rooms, but I'm sure he would have just gone over the things we talked about through the week, and the boys